All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's a new week and a new moment to bring you the Reality Kenya. Of course, my name is Simi Kenya, and as usual, we are live from the Learned Corner with our usual guest, the Deputy Party Leader of Safina Party, Honorable Wakili Willis Otieno. Piki Ponki.
Paka Melodisco. How are you?
I'm fine.
Yes.
How has Paka been?
Paka is fine. Just observing what is going on.
Yes.
And there is a new conversation that is coming up in the country.
Yes.
Which we must have. And it's the question of the role of members of parliament on CDF.
Yes.
And the critical thing that we must mention is this. The role of a member of parliament is to legislate, represent, and oversight. Oversight what? Oversight of the executive on the performance of executive functions. Now, members of parliament cannot create a fund which they superimpose themselves as patrons, and they are now responsible of executing the administration of that fund.
Yes.
Then who will oversight them?
Yet they are the ones to.
They are the ones who are meant to provide oversight. How will they question themselves on their responsibilities?
Yes.
And it's time that we live true to the dictates of our constitution. If you want to devolve any money, you can devolve it using the established devolved structures. And members of parliament need to limit themselves to their role. And when you are discussing CDF, divorce yourself from the functions for which that fund is applied. The mischief is in the role of member of parliament. CDF as an entity, as a fund, can remain.
Yes.
What we are saying is that the members of parliament should have no role in it.
The fund may be there.
They may be there. In fact, even give it to the constituents.
Yes.
Let the villagers elect their own chairman to administer that fund.
Yes.
And let the MP oversight them as part of his general oversight role. So I see some people saying, no, bursaries, bursaries, it builds schools. That's okay.
Yes.
That can continue. But remove the member of parliament. Let him go and play an oversight role to make sure that the administration of that fund and other executive funds are done in accordance with the law. And there's fiscal discipline. Otherwise, we've turned CDF to become purely a kitty of members of parliament to reward loyalties and to campaign.
Yes.
Go to many constituencies, you find that certain areas are not given bursaries because they are perceived that they didn't vote for the member of parliament.
They're not strongholds.
They are not strongholds for the local MP, so they don't benefit from the bursary. So the need for the fund is there, we accept. And the fund should still be given to the constituencies, we accept. But the structures of administration should remove the member of parliament from that fund. The second thing I want to say, and I want to invite Kenyans to do for me the math. You know, if you go by our constitution, it provides that a presidential election should be held on the second Tuesday of August of the 5th year. The 5th year.
After the previous
general elections. The 5th year. The second Tuesday of August of the 5th year. Not after 5 years. It talks of the 5th year. So I want to invite fellow citizens to answer the question, when is the 5th year from the date of the last election? The last general election was held on the 9th of August 2022. Tell me, when is the 5th year? When does the 5th year begin? The 5th year, according to my own summation, begins on the 10th of August 2026.
Next year?
That's when the 5th year begins. That's when it begins. Next year. And when it begins, your constitution, Article 101 and Article 136, tells you that you should hold the presidential elections on the second Tuesday of the 5th year. The first Tuesday is the 11th of August. The second Tuesday is the 18th of August, 2026.
That is when basically the next election.
That is when the next election should be held.
Not
so. legacy politicians should stop gaslighting us and plant in our heads to subconsciously accept that the elections should be held in the year 2027. It should not.
But the term is a 5-year term.
There is nowhere in our constitution that says the president shall serve for a 5-year term. That's what I'm telling you. Previously in our constitution, section 9 of the old constitution, had specifically provided that the president shall serve for a 5-year term. That terminology was dropped when we came up with the 2010 constitution. It simply said the president shall hold office until the next one is sworn in. And in terms of the swearing in, it is a consequence of an election. The process of coming up with the next president. And that is what leads us to Article 101 and Article 136 of the Constitution, which talks of the date of the presidential elections, the general elections. The election of a president shall be held on the second Tuesday of August of the 5th year.
Not after 5 years.
Not after 5 years. You know, in the good book, we are told that my people suffer for lack of knowledge and understanding. Kenyans have been suffering for lack of knowledge and understanding. It is right there before you. It's right there before you. Read your constitution. It's not I who came up with it. And Kenyans said we will be doing our elections on the 5th year. Which day of the 5th year? The second Tuesday of August of the 5th year. Not the second Tuesday of August after the 5th year. No. Of the 5th year. And to tell you that this interpretation of the law is the correct one. In 2017, Uhuru Kenyatta did not serve a 5-year term.
From 2013?
From 2013, March. Until 2017. August. He did not serve a full 5-year term. The elections were held before 5 years lapsed. It is because we were calculating the 5th year, the second Tuesday of August of the 5th year. It is only this 2022 that somebody misled us to believe that we don't have to count the 5th year. We should have had the election in 2021.
2021 August.
Yes.
Or April.
No, August. It was coming. It was second Tuesday of August. So this time now, we've raised this. Let Kenyans do their math and determine which date that is. As per the constitution, not your own perception. Not what was there before. So nationally, we've had a national subconsciousness that a term of a president is 5 years. That has been the subconscious thought in our mind. But now, I'm telling you the black and white letter of the law. It is the second Tuesday of August of the 5th year.
Which will be next year, 2026.
On the 18th of August.
And talking about this, we are seeing the IBC actually coming up. And do you think with the current, suppose now this goes through because Kenyans may get into it and actually create a whole uprising against it to raise this issue of 2026 election. If election were to be held next year, do you think the IBC will be ready enough?
Yes, IBC has been funded every year. IBC is in office. The commission secretariat and structures is there in every constituency. Their functions are provided for and they've been performing. We've been funding them every year since the last election. So what we don't have are just commissioners and chair. Chebukati became a chairman in January of 2017. And he was doing elections in fact, I think it was around March. I did elections in August. So there's no problem. Elections are done by the constituency returning officers who are in office as we speak as constituency election managers. So the structure, the infrastructure for elections exists. We can still conduct these elections within the timeline. So it should not be a point of worry. There's nothing that commissioners, they are not supermen. They are not superior beings that they have some extraterritorial knowledge of elections and how it's supposed to be conducted. They're just you and I. And the infrastructure is already there anyway. So we should be planning for elections next year. And Kenyans need to demand this.
And suppose now, we have always seen the government led by President William Ruto actually, not respecting the law as per the citizens, actually going against what the constitution says, each and every time. In your own view, do you think this is something they may honor since they have always been talking about 2027?
So this is the time when now we must agree as a country whether we are a country of the rule of law or not. Because me, I've read our constitution.
Yes.
If somebody has a different interpretation, they should tell me. And we can debate. The fifth year is in the constitution. It's a question of math. Anybody who went to school and can do math, you can come up and tell us which is the fifth year. Then which is the second Tuesday of August of the fifth year. Do elections on that day. That's all I'm saying. And if you do your math and the fifth year is 2027, 10th, then it's okay. But me, I'm simply saying the fifth year, as per the summation, commences on the 10th of August, 2026. So which is the second Tuesday of that fifth year? It is the 18th of August, 2026. So we should have our elections there. And we need to now start demanding for this cause. We need to start saying, no, this is when we should be having our elections. And going forward, we should be having elections on this date.
But that means it's for like 4 years.
Yes, that is what our constitution says. What made you drop the 5-year term, which was very clear, and come up with the fifth year? It meant you are giving 4 years. The US is 4 years, Ghana is 4 years, many jurisdictions is 4 years. There's nothing untoward about it. It's been done successfully. You gave it to yourselves, unless you go and amend your constitution and provide for 5-year term. We don't have that. That is the kind of conversation we have on this platform.
And do you think our MPs, who are actually our representatives and legislators, who should be pushing for this particular constitutional part, are really aware of this?
You know, MPs are useless. Most of them don't understand, comprehend basic English. Now you'll be asking too much of them to interpret the constitution. Or even to read and understand. I'm inviting any Kenyan to just do the math yourself.
And if this election was to be held next year, how prepared is Safina Party to?
We are very prepared. We are very prepared even today. Because we are very clear on our ideology. It's about economic independence. How do we liberate the Kenyan people and give them the economic independence? It's about the economy, pure and simple. And you said, on the economy, what are the barriers that are stopping people from achieving their potential? Remove those barriers. Reduce taxes. And don't pay odious debt. If you don't pay the odious debt, the legal debts, what's the first consequence? The people must get instant relief. Because we are now overtaxed to pay for the legal debts. If we declare that we're not going to pay legal debts, the people must feel it. Why should you pay VAT on fuel at 16%? Once you're not paying the odious debt, it should come down. Let VAT on fuel be 8%. And the people can do it on their own. You just recalibrate your ATR machines and put it there at 8%. That's the Safina promise. Our development will be private sector driven. Why should government be the one that is trying to claim that I will tengeneza and 10 billion here? For what? I'll build affordable housing. When did the government become a contractor? Let the private sector build those houses. Let people identify the needs in their areas and build houses that are responding to the needs. So that is what Safina Party will do. We are very clear on our economic agenda that will have massive impact on the people. Why should Kenya government be borrowing money from the domestic market at high interest rate, 14%? The consequence of it, banks don't have an appetite to lend to individuals. The individual goes to the bank, interest rate 18-20%. That's an unperforming loan right there. Get government out of domestic market. The consequence, banks will have the money that they've collected from the depositors. The depositors expect interest. Their shareholders expect dividends. They have the money. What do? They must now go into the market and hawk loans. So Simi will be given a loan at 4% interest rate. With 4% interest rate, what can't you do? Kenyans have ideas. What they lack is access to capital. So that is what Safina Party will do. How do we spur this economy? How do we grow? How do we give people access to capital at a lower interest rate? Government will do it by removing the barrier. Stop borrowing from the domestic market. Then you will now see a property growth in this country. Not what you are witnessing today, where politicians want you to remain poor. Because they want you to remain poor, so that on election day, you are looking forward to handout. I want you to be rich, so that on election day, you are discussing with me the policies. Because you have money in your pockets, you don't care about the money. You are discussing, okay, now how are you going to expand our market? What is the new promise? What's the next level growth for us to elect you? That's the kind of a conversation that the people should be having with their leaders. Not that Mandiza Raka, give us 100 bob. They're already queuing even before you finish talking.
Listening fee.
Listening fee.
Yes.
We should change our politics, and that is what Safina Party is about. That is what this platform is about. But changing the political conversation.
But yesterday we saw the Kiaru MP Ndidi Nyoro talking about the debt that we have been talking about actually, and criticizing the whole budget that is set aside for the IBC. But now many Kenyans were reacting to it, saying that when he was in government, the other day, or when he was pro-government, he was not actually talking about this, and right now he's outside. And so many people have been saying that whenever people are not in government, like now Safina Party, they are always very smart, very bright, having these good ideas, and the moment people get inside government, everything changes and they do the things.
That is our invitation to the people of Kenya, that don't just listen to what we say. Study our history. But also more important, interrogate what promise we make to you. Like I've told you, we will not pay odious debt. Okay, write it down. And the consequence of it, we are saying we'll reduce taxes. Write it down. And we will reduce taxes. We'll give you an example. VAT on fuel. It is 16% today. Bring it down to 6%. Write it down. That's a commitment upon which, if you elect Safina, when you elect Safina Party, it is a commitment we made to you. Who pays the VAT?
The citizen.
Citizen. So the citizen himself is the one, when he's going to pay, will say our commitment was it will come down from 16 to 8. So pay 8. The power is in your hands. It's not in the politician. You're not waiting for me to change my mind. No. The commitment was there. You are elected on a premise of paying VAT at 8%. Just recalibrate your ATR machine. So what somebody promises you should be something tangible. As a Safina, we are saying we are giving power back to the people. So in terms of implementing some of these things we're talking about, it is the peoples who will be driving it, not the government. So when we say VAT is coming down to 8% on fuel, let it be 8% on fuel. And the person who is paying should be the one saying, no, you say it was 8%, nimetoa yangu. I'm now putting it at 8%. I've taken it. I've only paid. So it's not the government coming to tell you, no, you start paying. No. Once you're elected, VAT comes down.
But these are laws. Once the government has said...
The point is, on this particular issue, the power to pay is in whose hands? It's the citizen. So give the people, let the people execute it. It was the premise upon which they elected the leader. Remember, the leader is just but a representative of the people. It's not him. So what was the basis of your election? It was the promise that you're going to reduce tax on VAT, for example, VAT on fuel. So you said it was going to be 8%. That's what we are paying.
And how do you feel that now, every time you we call it criticism, you criticize the government or point out areas that the government should work on, those who are in government always try to oppose this. But the moment they get outside now the government, now they join you and sing the same.
That is the legacy politicians. Those are Ndidi Nyoros, those are the legacy politicians. They thrive in conning Kenyans, lying to you, manipulating you. They say this today, tomorrow they say this. They defend this today, next day. You see, that's legacy politics. It's about lying to you. It's about conning you.
And we also saw your MP also doing the same.
Those are legacy politicians. He was leading here demonstrations against Ruto. Now he's the #1 praise singer of William Ruto. It doesn't make sense. And Kenyans need to wake up and say enough of this legacy politics. Let's play politics that's about the best interest of the people. That is the politics that Safina Party represents. We don't believe, we'll never change our position. And we will never. What we've stood for since our days in ODM to date are the same things. Social justice. And now we are talking about economic independence. It's about the people, not about the leaders. The easy way out for us would be to join Kasongo. If we're doing this thing for self-benefit, the easiest thing to do is to join Kasongo. But to what end do you want to join Kasongo? if your neighbor is suffering, if his economic policies are causing pain to the people, to what end? Fine, you'll make money for yourself, but is that what you want? Life is not just about money. It's about creating a society that guarantees every individual a life of dignity. That is what as we believe in.
Yes.
We are not doing this for self-aggrandizement, self-comfort. No. If it's a question of self-comfort, I can stay in my legal practice and continue practicing law. But it's about that other Kenyan whom the system has been so hostile to, that the system bleeds him every single day. He pays his taxes every day, and you see his taxes being wasted. Taxes are being increased every day on him. He can barely afford a living. University students who cannot go to school. Kids who cannot access healthcare services because of a warped healthcare system, financing system. Those are the things as we care about. How do we change these things so that it works for the people? That is what Safina is. And anybody who believes in that, we welcome you to Safina. But if you are looking for a space for self-aggrandizement, Kasongo is there. Go and join him. Some in ODM have joined him. They are now his praise singers. They always wanted personal comfort. So if you want personal comfort, go to Kasongo. And I believe he has enough space. But if you want a system that works for all Kenyans, irrespective of their political affiliations, we are Safina. Safina is the future.
As we wind up, Naibu, expert CS John Badi, as he was called when he was joining the government, used to give so many, economical advices and, towards the economy and financial advices to the government. And now when he got inside there, he's actually now one of the most criticized cabinet secretaries, or rather incompetent, because people are not feeling the impact. Do you think the problem is the government that he joined, or him as a person not doing what people expected him to do?
The problem is not him as a person. The problem is the system. I told you on this platform that I feel sorry for him. Kenyans will be throwing stones at him. It's not even 6 months and the stones are heavy. It's the system he joined. He's not the problem. You are telling Badi to balance the budget when you are paying 70% of your revenue to debt finance. And Badi has said, I'm not going to increase your taxes. When next year, your debt payments are going to be 2.2 trillion next year. 2.2 trillion. Your collections this year, ending in June, are projected to be 2.3 trillion. If you don't increase taxes, it means next year's collection, if you maintain the taxes there, it means all that you're going to collect the next financial year, 100% of it will go to debt finance. So you have to increase taxes. It's the system. As we are saying, we'll start by saying, open up that debt register. Any debt that is legal, we shall not pay. That is the Safina promise. And once we don't pay that debt, we'll be ready for the consequences.
This 70%.
This 70% that we're paying for debt. Any legal debt that is in that book, we will not pay. It is odious. And our commitment to the people is beyond the declaration of odious debt. The people must get instant relief. Number one is the appetite to raid your pockets will not be there, because we have no odious debt to pay. You must feel that instant relief in reducing some of your taxes. And we are saying one that is common to everybody is VAT on fuel. Why should it be there? It should even go away, all of it. But assuming you still want to run some programs, maybe 8%. It comes down from 16 to 8. Half it. Let the people feel the impact. It is their government. It's their money. So too bad for expert. Expert has joined a failed system. He now must form part of the skunk that he warned against. He warned that it was skunk, give him his skunk. Now he has joined the skunk. Too bad for him. It's not him as an individual, it's the system that he joined that has messed up. But now he's the one who must carry this, to bear the stones that people are throwing at him.
Wow. I want you to address the believers, friends, and the family of Safina Party who have walked with you through this journey since you started coming out and actually talking about the economic liberation of this nation.
So, Team Piki Piki Ponki, Team Safina, we are growing by the day, one man at a time. And the movement and the conversation is changing. This is about economic independence to the people of Kenya. That is what we believe in, and that is what we are fighting for. We are now doing the third and final liberation, the economic independence of our people. Our politics must make meaning to us as a people. It cannot be that we have a political system that only serves a few select individuals when the rest of the population is wallowing in poverty and lack of dignity. That has to change, and the time for that change is now.
Wow, thank you so much, Naibu.
Thank you.
And may God bless you, and to all our viewers and the family of the Reality Kenya, may God bless you. Until next time, my name is Simi Kenya. Bye-bye.